Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about estimating divisors. We've talked about estimation and we reviewed a little bit about rounding. I drew a number line up here just to give you a visual and a quick review. That whenever you have a number that has tens and ones, if you've got between 0 and 4 in the ones place, so it's less than 5, then your number stays the same. And of course, if you have 5 or higher, then you round up. So in thinking about this as a review, I want to talk to you about estimating divisors where you have tens in the divisor. So the steps for estimating divisors when doing long division is first you round, and when we round, we're talking about rounding the divisor. Next you estimate, and then you multiply, subtract, compare, bring down, just like you normally do when you're doing division. And then of course you repeat. So let's see what that looks like. Let's take our divisor of 47, and because our 1 is a 7, which is higher than a 5, we're going to round up. So in rounding, that would make this become a 50. Now the easiest way to estimate is to drop off the ones place and just work with one digit. So instead of saying 50, I'm going to call this a 5 right now. And we're going to keep that in mind when we're estimating our quotient here. So if I call this a 5, I'm going to think about how many times can 5 go into 10? Well, I know that 5 can go into 10 2 times. So I'm going to assume that 47 can go into 106 2 times. If I multiply 47 times 2, I end up with 94. So I do my subtraction and I end up with 12. 12 of course is less than 47, so that works out. I'm going to bring down my 3 and I have 123. I'm going to do the same thing again. 5 can go into 12 again 2 times. So I'm going to assume that 5 can go into 123 2 times. And in fact, of course, we know it does because we know that 47 times 2 is 94. Have to do a little bit of borrowing. So 13 minus 4 is 9 and 11 minus 9 is 2. 29 is less than 47, make sure we compare, and so what we have is a remainder of 29. Seems like a big remainder, but again, as long as it's less than our divisor, it doesn't matter. So you can see how I took my divisor of 47, rounded it up to 50, and knocked off that ones place and just worked with my 5. I think that makes it a lot easier to do division quickly so that you're not stuck with long numbers and not knowing where to start with your division. For your practice tonight, I would like you to do 157 divided by 23, and I'd also like you to do 437 divided by 98. So what I would like you to show is how you underline what's in the ones place to indicate whether or not you'll be leaving this the same or rounding up. And then write the number that you're working with over here for your estimation. So in this case, remember I rounded 47 to 50, knocked off the ones place and just work with 5. I want to see that number that you're using there. Okay, you'll do your division like normal, and then of course check your work. And so when you do this with 23 and 98, I want to see that you've underlined the 3 to indicate if you're rounding up or leaving it the same, and same with your 8. And then you'll write your number right over here to show me what number you're actually working with for your estimation.